Hello. So I see a lot of people on YouTube, or a lot of YouTubers at least, making these deer vlogs or whatever, or deer like sit down videos. And first of all, I don't know why it's a reddish tint on here. Excuse the bonnet. I meant to have my hair already how it was all throughout the day, but I just got to moving and getting ready for bed, and I put my bonnet on. So I said, ooh, in the middle of it, I said, ooh, I meant to leave my hair down, but I guess I'll leave my earrings in to make me look a little better, even though it don't really matter, but whatever. I already told y'all what I'm finna be doing. Coming to y'all real how it be. So yeah. But I see a lot of people making these deer videos or whatever. And I figured I want to make a dear old me video. First of all, saying how proud I am, and then like kind of what I've overcome. So I feel like so when I went into high school, I felt like, growing up, I always felt like I was sure of myself. I always felt very confident. I always felt very like secure in who I was, right? And then I remember when I was in my middle school, like 5 people out of my whole middle school went to my high school, right? So I was going to a brand new place with brand new people. And none of my really good friends were going to high school with me. So I really felt like I was, alone. Honestly, I knew a lot of people in elementary and middle school. Like, I'd been with them since elementary school. So I knew everybody. Like, it was a comfort zone. It was like a small school district or whatever. So everybody literally knew everybody. And they were all going to high school together. But, like, me and 4 other people, which I was cool with, but hold on. Give me a little privacy. We're all going to high school together. So I remember being anxious and stuff, going into high school, right? And then I got there, so it's ninth grade center, all ninth graders in one school. And it was like, okay, so I ended up getting on the cheerleading team, which it's not a reddish tint anymore, unless my eyes are deceiving me. And I got my retainer in, so I'm lisping. But yeah, I ended up getting on the cheerleading team, and that's when obviously I met more people and stuff like that. But it was definitely a difference between where I came from and where I was at. Like, I was hearing stuff I never heard before. Like, that really, I remember I made my parents have the talk with me. Well, y'all know what that is. Like, because I was like, look, I'm being like exposed to a whole bunch of stuff, and I really want y'all to sit down and tell me, because them girls on that team was, really opening my eyes to stuff. And I can admit, I was prude. Like, I was oblivious to everything that they were talking about, right? So, and this was like immediately, I don't even think school had started yet, because cheerleading tryouts was in the summer type, or like during the first couple weeks of school. So yeah, I remember it was like right off, I was like, what am I like getting myself into, right? But I had been a cheerleader already, so I was like, I want to be on the team. I like cheering and blah 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 blah. That was me hitting my thigh with my hand. But so I got on the team. That opened my eyes to a lot, right? And just that whole school in general, like, it was a whole different community of people. People were more stuck up, and I'm really a nice person, like, and I'm really a nice person. I like to, like, I don't know, I've just always been the type of person to, I'm open to everybody. Like, I want to talk to, I'm not gonna say I want to talk to people, because I'm really like an introvert. If nobody knows, that knows me. But like, I like to be who I like to be around, but I like to look out for people who nobody pays attention to, if that makes sense. Like, I remember in elementary school, I always used to, me and like a couple other girls would hang out with this and play with this one special ed girl on the playground or whatever, just because she didn't have nobody else. Like, and people would make fun of her. I remember I got into it with one of my friends because she was like, why are you always hanging out with her and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, cause you don't, like, why wouldn't I, you know? But anyway, so that opened my eyes to a lot, just being in high school or whatever. So cut to, okay, I'm going along in my life or whatever, and I felt myself like, when I got to maybe 10th grade, that's when I switched over to the other campus, which obviously was 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So I remember I got a little boyfriend or whatever, and he would always tell me, he was like, what'd he say? You're so nice, stop biting your tongue all the time or whatever. But I didn't bite my tongue. I just pick and chose. Like, I was never a pushover. I was just like, and not everybody deserves a reaction, but obviously he got a lot of reactionary stuff out of me, and I got into a little drama in high school and blah, blah, blah. So that just made me a little bit more aggressive, so to speak, which a lot of people get in drama in high school. That's nothing new, but I don't know. It just seemed like all of my surroundings were just different. Like, I definitely was around people that were different than the people I'd always been around. Like, were a little bit more catty and drama filled. Like, I've just always been a chill person. I've always been a chill person. Like, it takes a lot to really get a reaction out of me. You have to really make me mad and do something to me. So, I don't know, like, I remember I was always a person, like, I never wanted to smoke weed, right? Never thought that was something that I ever wanted to do. And I never did it until, like, I would always be in the parties and stuff. I'm not smoking. Everybody knew I didn't smoke, right? Everybody knew that wasn't me. But everybody was always pressuring me, like, no matter how many times I said no, everybody always pressured me. Always, always, always. And cut to senior year, prom night. I said, well, I'm gonna try it. It's prom night. Whatever. So I did it. And that was the first time. And I didn't get high that time, but I smoked again sometime after that. This was obviously the last month of school, and it ended up, I started doing it pretty frequently, and which eventually made me, I don't know, I definitely went through a phase where I kind of lost myself. Like, so as I started smoking more, obviously, then I went to college and I was smoking in school too. Now, right now, like, it's been about 2 years since I've smoked, so I feel pretty okay to smoke about this, because, to smoke about this. Ooh, I feel pretty okay to talk about this, because first of all, I don't smoke anymore. I could pass a drug test. Like, if any job or employer found me on this site, this platform or whatever, I'm A-okay. I think a lot of people have gone through their adolescent times and made mistakes and, you know, either drank alcohol or smoked weed or did whatever you did. And FYI, in my state, it's just been legalized now, so whatever. But I haven't smoked in about 2 years. But yeah, I definitely went through a phase where I lost myself. And then when I went to college, it was like haywire for me. So when I stopped smoking, I kind of felt like I went through a period of, like, I had extreme anxiety when I was smoking, because when I was at school, I went through a little drama again. And I started using smoking, where before, like in high school, it was kind of like a fun thing. In college, it turned to like a stress thing. So then whenever I did smoke, like after the trying times ended or whatever, and I did smoke after that, I don't know. I had like major anxiety. Um, and it wasn't good for me, right? It just wasn't. And I stopped. Um, but I think through that, like through those anxious times or whatever, I always learned a lesson out of them. Like when I thought back, obviously not in the moment, but when I thought back on them, like the next day or the next couple of days, like I always learned something from it. And it was never me, so I knew I should have never started anyway. But I did, just being a daring teenager and wanting to live life on the edge and try new things. And it wasn't really that bad here. You'll like it. So I was like, okay, why not? I've been turning it down for however long. I can do it one time. Mm, mm, mm. I got caught up in the hype. Now, I did have fun times, I'm not going to lie. But I would never promote it to anybody, especially young people, because it's very easy to get into a rabbit hole. It's very easy to slip up. So just don't do it. But yeah, I feel like since I stopped smoking, I feel so much more like clear and level headed than I ever did before. So much more like myself. I feel like I'm getting back to the person I should have been and was supposed to be and am going to be for my future. I feel like I'm getting back on my path. So it makes me feel good to like kind of right the wrongs that I know I shouldn't have made in the first place, like things I knew I should have never done. Isn't it always crazy how you know you shouldn't be doing stuff when you're doing it and you kind of do it anyway, but then you end up like getting a spank on your hand, you know what I'm saying? Like when it ends up how you knew it would. Like the end result always ends up at least how you knew it would or worse. So always follow your gut. That's the synopsis of this. Always follow your gut. But I guess to tie this up, because I feel like I kind of I feel like I be scatterbrained in these videos because they're so off the dome. Like I don't even know when I'm going to be making them. Like they kind of just, whatever. Dear old me, you started off good. You got caught up. You made some mistakes, but you learned some lessons. You met some good people. You let some other ones go. And it was all for your good. It's all getting you exactly where you're supposed to be right now. I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I feel like I'm meeting a lot of the right people. I feel like I'm building a lot of relationships. I feel like I'm going just in the right direction. I encourage a lot of people to, I know I have a hard time. Sometimes I get ashamed of past things or things that I've done and stuff like that, or I get disappointed in myself and it makes me not want to talk about it at all. But I know it's something that you're supposed to do, because if you still hold emotion towards it, or you feel like you still have some type of feeling of something from your past, that means you're not over it yet. So that's kind of the part that I'm trying to do, fully get over a lot of things from my past. And I think making some videos on some of those topics will help me out a little bit, which is much easier said than done, because I've tried to talk about a lot of stuff before and I end up getting upset about stuff again, either with myself or with the situation in general. And I'm not going to say it's a lot of stuff, but some stuff, I know I'm not over yet because it happened not that long ago. So I'm working on it, but just always try to learn your lessons. Try to avoid getting the same lesson twice, because it only gets worse. The test only gets worse. It only gets harder. You know what I mean? And sometimes you fail. When you fail, you just have to take it again, which sucks. But I bet you take it so you get it right. just like in school. So, but yeah, dear old me, it's okay, girl. Better days are coming. You're in better days, okay? So, yep, I'm gonna wrap this up now. Good night, everybody.